50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, good to be with you, everyone. Welcome into a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 434. Today is Wednesday, August 28th in 2024, and I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me as always is our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis. We got a done deal, kid. We got a done deal down in Jerry World.
Yeah, they'll finally got, CD's deal done. Hopefully, those other contracts start to fall. The Brandon Ayuk's of the world, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, who's reported in camp and should be there for week 1. But I just want all these players to get paid so we can move along and get ready for the season, which is just about 9 days away, people.
9 days away. And, we're just getting closer and closer. We were talking about it right before we went on, and I can't believe it. Next Thursday, we have football, the Ravens. Whew, I can't wait. I'm rooting for the Ravens already, week 1. But yeah, kid, we got a good episode for you today. A little recap what's going on. Today, final days for every team to get down to the 53-man roster. So a lot of cuts, a lot of trades, people getting signed. We'll talk about what's next in the wide receiver market. Great interview with Justin Mark of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We preview the Bears, big Iowa guy, going and previewing the Bears. So we'll look at what he likes. Our two-a-days continue. We'll talk about the Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Week 1 in college football, 25 games on this Thursday. I got 3 plays. Prime time. Colorado, they play North Dakota State, kid. Very tough game, but we'll talk about that. 15 games on the diamond as well, and maybe we'll get you out of here with some WNBA. But, kid, let's start there. We get a deal done in Dallas. CeeDee Lamb, they reached an agreement, 4 years, $136 million deal, 100 guaranteed, $38 million at the signing bonus. It makes him the second highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history, the largest ever given to a wide receiver. I think he deserves it.
Yeah, though we've been saying for a while that, in my opinion, I think the Cowboys don't have no shot in hell, not just for the division, but to compete in the NFC without CeeDee Lamb. We saw CeeDee Lamb take that next step last season, and to be honest, he made Dak an MVP candidate for about 6-7 weeks of the season. So I just feel like if the Cowboys want to have any success this season, you need a CeeDee Lamb on your team, who's honestly a top 3 wide receiver in this league. So I'm glad that the Cowboys was able to get this deal done. Only thing I question is why it took so long. Hey, maybe Jerry Jones just liked the drama brewing. It's for clicks, it's for ads. It is what it is. But CeeDee Lamb is back in Dallas, and that's a good thing.
My question is, how much better can they be? Because that, like you said, Dak was playing at one of the highest level. He was an MVP candidate for a majority of the season. CD, he put up historic numbers, and they still fell flat on their face to the Green Bay Packers. That is my worry with them. I agree to your original point. They needed a deal done. Don't know why it took this long. I feel like only one more player needs to get paid. We'll talk about that next, but I just feel like no matter if they got the deal done or not, it's still not enough. I don't think Dallas went out there, and we talked about it in our future podcast a few weeks ago. I don't think Dallas did enough to get past that pump. I still think they're a top 5 team in the NFC, but every team is getting better. We talk about Green Bay, that whole NFC North. Watch out for the Chicago Bears. All these teams, they're improving. The team, I know it's in the AFC, but the team in Houston is all about action. Jerry talks about, we're winning now. Houston is going out there and making moves like that. Jerry's not really going making moves like that.
Yeah, I do agree with that aspect. This offseason was kind of, crickets for the Dallas Cowboys. Really just signing, I think, my boy Kendricks, former linebacker from the Chargers. Other than that, really no splash moves, letting go, Stephon Gilmore walking. But overall, Dill, I can honestly say with the Cowboys, in my opinion.
Why is the hesitation in your voice? Because I feel like you want to believe in them, but it's so hard because we go down this road every year. Now, I don't want to turn into this podcast that talks about the Cowboys every time, you know?
I understand, but realistically,
yeah,
what we can honestly take away is they have 3 straight 12-win seasons. That's one positive.
That's fair.
And I agree with you, but they didn't really improve. Like I said, besides Hendricks at the linebacker position, but you are coming off 3 straight 12-win seasons. You could build off that. I understand they didn't show up from the Packers game. Embarrassing loss. I'm not taking nothing away from that. But the one bright side you can say is we won 12 straight games. We just haven't showed up come playoff time. If they show up come playoff time, we could probably have a different conversation. 12 wins is impressive, though. The fact to do it 3 straight seasons, to me, that's very impressive. But the fact that, one, you haven't won that big game, but the fact that the last game we remember is you being down 27-0 at halftime.
Not a good look.
Not a good look, exactly.
And my question is, like I was saying, yeah, it's something to hold your hat on. 3 12-season win teams, amazing. But can you get better? I'll ask you that question. Can Dak play better than he did last year? Because I don't think so.
Can he play better in round 1 of the playoffs? Absolutely. That's my thing. We saw that. We just agreed Dak Prescott was playing at an MVP level. Yes or no?
Yeah, right? He was. Yeah, he was.
That game against the Green Bay Packers, did he play as an MVP at an MVP level? Absolutely not. And I'm not going to justify it. All I'm saying is, if Dak is firing all cylinders, that defense is firing all cylinders. Like we've seen it plenty of times, we just haven't seen it in that big game come playoff time, though. If they just show up come playoff, if Dak throws one of those, 32 for 48, 44, 350, 3 tutties, Zeke goes in there. I'm not saying old Zeke, but I'm saying he gives you a couple of these, get a tutty. CeeDee Lamb gives you a $120. Jake Ferguson doesn't seem that defense holds you to under 17. Dallas is live every game. If that defense holds you to under 17, under 20 points, and Dak just don't turn the ball over, gives you over 300 yards passing, the Cowboys is live. But guess what? In the playoff games, when it matters most, we're yet to see Dak Prescott have a game without throwing interceptions. We yet to see Dak Prescott throw for 300 yards when you're up. He throws for 300 yards when they're already down double digits. Yeah, do that when you're up. So that's my only takeaway, though. I love what I've been seeing in the regular season. Like I said, we see Dak at MVP levels. We just yet to see Dak at those levels come playoff time.
And I don't think I'm being overcritical either with them, because
you're not.
Because
the truth.
I think I believe in them. I do. Like I said, I think they're a top 5 team in the NFC, and their roster is great. They should be. That's the thing. And I do think their defense, just a little pushback, I do think their defense is going to take a hit with Dan Quinn leaving. So we'll see there.
Still a top 10 defense. It's definitely going to
We'll see.
hit, but it's definitely a top 10 defense still.
We'll see.
Let's not forget. Yeah, I understand DeVon Bland's out for the first couple of weeks, but they are getting back one of the best cornerbacks in football in Trevon Diggs. So the defense might be a little better. Not better, but, it might just, correlate a little better than it did last season at times. Because Trevon Diggs is a dog. This.
I agree. I think he is. I just think they, like I said, with everything, with Dak, with CD, I think they played so high at the best of their capability that they're due for some regression. That's just everybody. And with their defense staying healthy, all those pick sixes last year, I think they're due for some regression. Now, I do think they'll be a solid defense, but I don't think they'll be top 5 like they were last year.
I say they dropped, about 5 ranks.
I also kind of derailed this conversation. I took it to all the Cowboys instead of saying I'm the $1 million man, CeeDee Lamb. So highest paid player, and I think we both agreed, right under Justin Jefferson, and I think that's where he deserves. Justin Jefferson's at 35, CD's at 34. There's a gap now. AJ Brown, 32 million. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 30.2.
That's Jamar Chase spot, 33.
33.
Now Cincinnati got to make it happen, So we knew Justin Jefferson, he deserved that contract, and we knew CeeDee Lamb deal was gonna get done eventually. It's just, was he asking more, or is Jerry Jones like, nah, you gotta give us a hometown discount. Tyreek took 30, you gotta take 30. No, I want to be right under Justin Jefferson, as I think I am. I think I am the second best wide receiver in football.
He is.
So can't deny it, especially after the season he had last year.
I mean, this is a hell of an offseason for wide receivers. CeeDee Lamb is now the 11th receiver to get a big payday. He is Justin Jefferson, obviously 4 years, 40 million. CeeDee 4 years, 136. DJ Moore 4 years, 110. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Which is a deal.
A deal.
Yeah.
I must say, Ray Brown, he got 4 years. AJ Brown got 3 years. Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins. Like, it just goes on and on. The two to have Brandon Ayuk and Jamar Chase. Now, there were good signs today.
As well.
Yeah, that's also true. But I guess I'm talking big names. No disrespect to T. Higgins. I do like him. But Jamar Chase, he was at practice today, and that's a good sign. He still has a year left on that deal. Zach Taylor came out and said he's going to practice all week with us. He will be suited up for week 1. So even though he didn't really play, he's still going to
put that clamps on him now.
Oh, we'll see. But are you surprised that, I guess, they didn't get a deal done, or do you expect it to be midway through the season or after the season they revisit it?
I think he gets a deal done by Sunday. I honestly think the Cincinnati Bengals are, one, we know they're a little cheaper than these other teams.
Yeah, they don't pay their players.
Yeah. And two, Dill, we already know the drama that's been going on with T. Higgins. I think they get this deal done with Jamar Chase and be like, look, Justin got this. CD got that. AJ Brown is right here. We'll give you right above AJ Brown. We're not trying to go to 34, but we'll give you 32.5, 32.8, something like that. And I think that's around the number we'll get. Maybe he'll get to 33. We'll see about that. But I think Jamar Chase will sign a deal maybe by Sunday or Monday and be in the camp for the week 1 deal.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be amazing. If they get a deal done before week 1, I think that's big news for them. They don't have to worry about it. They can move on.
I'm going to just call it now. I'm going to say 4 years, 135.
Yeah, I think he should get 4 years, like 135, 134, something like that. He needs to go above, like you said, AJ Brown. I think he's better than him.
Just either guaranteed or just, like a point more, yearly salary.
Outside of Jamar Chase and obviously Brandon Ayuk that I mentioned, that still hasn't gone. Even though I do think he's going to stay with the 49ers, we still got 2 more big names that are still getting contracts remain pending. We have Trent Williams, and apparently that situation is different. He wants to get paid, what I read, paid. So he wants to be taken care of like the piece that he is. And Hassan Reddick of the Jets. It's day 37, day 38.
Don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic. Yeah, I guess I'll start with my guy. Now I want to believe we'll get a deal done by week 1. I think that's like what I should say, but do I think realistically it gets done? Not the way it's been going. I really don't. I know that from what I've read, the Jets have given him a couple offers after he requested a trade. They haven't really met in the middle, so that's also concerning as well. So I don't know. I hope it gets done. I hope it gets done by week 1, but I don't think the Jets are worried. And the reason why I don't think that is because today they made it down to their 53-man roster, and they kept on, I think, 9 or 8 defensive linemen. We are deep at the defensive line position. We kept 3 unrestricted free agents that we signed after the draft. That just tells me that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, they're deep. They're going to rotate a lot at the defensive end. And they're not worried. They're prepared for Hassan Reddick not to play. I'm all for it. So, I mean, I would hold out too if I was Hassan Reddick, but I also understand the Jets' perspective. So, I think they get a deal done, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't, kid. What do you think about Trent Williams?
I think Trent Williams, this is a must sign, especially if you're not going to have Brandon Ayuk there because, you're going to have to sign one or the other by, let's just say, Monday. Come Monday, I understand they play the following Monday. They played that last game of week 1, so maybe that could benefit them somewhat. Maybe they could sign him on a Tuesday. But if I'm the front office, let's just say I'm John Lynch, right? If I got to pick between Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk, they'll go with the best left tackle in the game.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, Christian McCaffrey, best running back in football. I'm not going to deny that. But Trent Williams with Christian McCaffrey, that's
scary.
That's a scary sight, So I'm gonna have to get Trent Williams done. Brandon Ayuk, I'm surprised he hasn't got traded. That's my thing. Like, it's this late in the season. You're either gonna sign the deal or you're not.
I just don't think they've liked the offers. I think they've come back and said, you know what?
I don't want to hear this offers because you know why? We offered him $32 million. You see this team right here?
But he's not trying to play for a rebuild team.
No, I understand that.
I know.
But
it's not the money. I don't think it's the money. I truly don't.
So why you haven't signed? If it ain't about the money, you're trying to win. There's not too many better scenarios than San Francisco now. So it gotta be the money.
Yeah.
Come on now. Don't get me wrong. We're not in the best situation, but we offer him what he wanted. I guarantee he wants 32. And we probably offer him more than he wanted, Dill. Because in my opinion, do I think Brandon Ayuk is the same value as AJ Brown? Jamar Chase? 32 mil is a lot of money now. It's a lot of money. So we offer him the money. He didn't want it. So do you want to win, or you want to take this $25 million and have a chance to win, or you just want to go get the max dollar? What do you want to do? Because you already got offered the max dollar by us. You didn't want that. You take $25 million chance to win the Super Bowl. My opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that, they got a decision to make on their hand. And I agree. I would pay Trent Williams over Brandon Ayuk. I think he's more replaceable. And that's no disrespect to Brandon Ayuk, but you could go out and find someone.
Left tackle in the game.
Yes.
That's the best wide receiver in the game.
And you just pay. Yeah, and that's fair. Both things could be true. And you also have to protect Christian McCaffrey and your quarterback, who you have to pay in a year or two. Yeah.
$300 million. Be ready.
Yes, sir. I love Brock Purdy. I think he deserves it.
Go to another NFC championship.
He's getting paid.
He's
getting paid already.
I know, but if he goes, for example,
if they break the curse and
this man goes to in his first 3 years starting, 3 straight NFC championship games,
it's over. If he wins the Super Bowl,
give him 5% of the team.
Yeah,
realistically, realistically, he's gonna be there for 15 years.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to get Trent Williams done. But I think you got to get one of them done by week 1. And you're right; they have that extra
by Monday. The Jets are coming to town the following Monday.
And we're hungry. We're hungry too. But yeah, today, like I said, other than a couple of those signings, we had last day was on Tuesday to get every team down to the 53-man roster. We'll talk about the Vikings in a little, but TJ Hawkinson, he was on the PUP list, so he'll miss the first 4 games. Your boy Kendrick Bourne, ACL, he's on the PUP list as well. So there are a lot of guys. Tyler Higbee, AJ Dillon as well. They also released some players as well. My boy out of LSU, Terrence Marshall, the Panthers released him.
Desmond Ritter.
It was sad. I'm sorry, but it was sad. They Desmond Ritter's DoorDash commercial went viral after he got cut. That ain't right. They basically tell him to go kick rocks. That's crazy though, right?
It's don't get me wrong, it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Kadarius Toney got cut.
I saw that one coming. To me, it's messed up that they waited this long, because I honestly think if you would have, dropped Kadarius, let's just say in June, he would have been on the roster right now.
That's facts.
To drop him day of, it's a small chance we don't see Kadarius Toney on the
But he could get
October.
Picked on a practice squad.
No, but that's my thing. Kadarius Toney would have got picked up July, June. Now there's a small chance he might not get picked up to October.
By the way,
because the new rule, Dale, we know he's a threat, returning the ball. Some team was gonna be like, you know what, we could use some of that.
Also, we just talked about the Packers on last podcast. AJ Dillon's on injury reserved as well, so that's tough for them. By the way, your guy, the guy you just paid, your best defensive tackle, Christian Bourne, he is on the reserve, not non-football injury, obviously because of the blood clot that he's dealing with. By the way, we talked about with Pete Nova on Face Off Sports Network, Tim Patrick, the tight end, and he scored a touchdown. Remember, we gave him his flowers, I think, about last week. He scored a touchdown in those last 2 years. They released him, but now he got picked up on a practice squad. So that's good as well. Wow. Elijah Mitchell, 49ers, season-ending injury reserved as well. That's a tough loss. Odell Beckham. I could have saw that one coming. Yeah. Odell. By the way, it was the Detroit Lions practice squad that Tim Patrick got called up on. So Karen Williams, the running back for the Rams, he's back. He was hurt. Jet legend Mike White, he got released, but then he got picked up by the Bills. So he went from the Jets to Miami all the way up to Buffalo.
Trading secrets.
And guess where he's going next?
New England.
New England. Exactly. But yeah, other than that, oh, by the way, Malik Willis. I actually like that. Malik Willis, he got traded to the Packers for a 2025 7th round pick. He's likely going to back up Jordan Love. I think that's what's best for him. Go learn behind Jordan Love for a year or two, right? That's a good move, you think?
Yeah, for a 7th round pick, I think it's it's a great trade for the Packers. To get, potentially a solid backup quarterback. I think with Matt LaFleur behind Jordan Love, you could honestly groove something. Look what they've been doing the last fucking 30 years. They clearly know what to do with the backup quarterback. Hey, I don't even know some of y'all will remember. Remember my boy Matt Flynn? He got a huge deal from Seattle just off one game in Green Bay. So Green Bay definitely knows what to do in that quarterback room, and it definitely will benefit Malik Willis.
100%. All right, but great interview with Justin Mark. Before we get to that, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NFL preseason, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. And now, here is our interview with Justin Mark. All right, great interview with my man Mark over at the SGPN network. Big Iowa guy, love him that he sticks it to his in-laws sometimes. Being Green Bay Packer fans, I mean, that's tough, and I'm glad he got his wife to go on over to the Chicago side. But I do want to start with the Chicago Bears. They have the most to talk about. Or do you want to start with the Vikings since there's not much to talk about?
Yeah, let's get the Vikings out the way.
Yeah, that's good call. Good call. All right, let's go to the Vikings. Plus 80-1 to win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to touch that. NFC 35-1. They have the worst odds to come out of the North. Plus 850. Their win total opened up at 6.5. It's actually been bet up to 7.5 now, plus 134 towards the over, minus 168 towards the under. First question before we get to the win total, are you surprised that it went up even though with the injury of JJ?
I'm shocked. I'm going to be honest, though. I just don't see it. The fact that I understand he's a rookie, but J.J. McCarthy, let's just say.
But let's be honest, you weren't high on J.J. McCarthy.
No, I'm on record saying he's not a first-round quarterback.
That's crazy. Okay,
but I just wouldn't draft him first round in the first round. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying I wouldn't draft him in the first round. Don't get me wrong, J.J. that first preseason game, he looked good. He looked good. Do I think he could have possibly been a better quarterback than Sam Darnold this year? I don't know about that, realistically. So I could see why. But I just don't understand why it's at 6.5, 7.5. That's my thing. So
even at 6.5 where it opened up, I still like the under. They're only favored in 3 games.
I don't know why JJ, Sammy D, Kirk Cousins, it shouldn't be at 7.5. That's my thing. So I can see why it went up because I do think Sammy D will have a better productive season than JJ McCarthy would his rookie year. But I don't even see 6-7 wins realistically. So let's just start it off. Give me the under 7.5 win total at minus 168. It's juice for a reason, people. And I understand. The Vikings have a tough schedule. They're already down to their backup quarterback. Don't get me wrong, who is a Super Bowl starter. I like Sammy D, but I don't know if Jordan Addison is going to be there week 1. I highly doubt it. I think the NFL is going to suspend them. We got the news today. T.J. Hawkinson is on the pump list 4 weeks of the season. So right now you're going out there with a new quarterback, new running back, and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in all of football. No ifs, no ands, no buts. But you're gonna have a new running back, new quarterback, and maybe no Jordan Addison, no tight end, no starting tight end. I just feel like they might struggle a lot coming out the gate, and they have a pretty tough schedule, Dale. So I'm gonna go the under, and then I'm gonna put a couple little half a units on to win 5 games or to win 6 games. For the people listening to it, either one you like better. Look at the schedule; they're both at plus 600. I think this team win 5 games.
Yeah, the only 3 games that they are favored in is week 9. They are underdogs in the first 8 weeks. And I think even though they drafted JJ McCarthy at 1, they were going to start Sam D week 1. Look at their first 5 games.
Brutal.
They have the 4th hardest schedule in the league.
I know. I just don't see it. No matter who the quarterback was.
And last year, Kirk Cousins, they opened up 4-4. They started 0-3. They lost to the Bucks, Chargers, and the Eagles. Minnesota should be 2-1. They should have only lost to the Eagles. You do not lose to Tampa Bay, and you do not lose to the Chargers. I'm sorry.
The Bucks were good.
The Bucks were a playoff team, but you have too much talent not to win that game.
I agree.
And as much as I stick up for Kirk Cousins, you need to go out there and win. Mm-hmm. At home, that's tough. That's really tough. So yeah, I like the under. I don't understand why the market moved to 7.5. I really don't. Even transitioning from Kirk Cousins to JJ, Sam Darnold, I think it was the correct move long term because Kirk Cousins injury prone, Sam Darnold, he's already been in the league 9-10 years already. It's been a while. Sam D's been in the NFL. Shout out him for sticking around. But like long term, that was the right move. I don't know. I think they're going to struggle out of the gate. You mentioned it. Top tight end gone. Their number 2 wide receiver. He's likely going to be suspended. You got him and JJ. That's it. And you got Aaron Jones. You know, I and the roster, their defense, losing Danielle Hunter, DJ Warren, Marcus Davenport. They lost a lot of guys on defense as well. I mean, they replaced him with Jonathan Gennard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jahad Ward, but Stephon they're not
Gilmore's
the same.
There,
Stephon. Yeah, late, but not household names, man. They lost a lot, and I like Kevin O'Connell. I really do. I think he's a top 10 coach. I like their secondary. You got Harrison Smith. I like Harrison Smith. I think their secondary is okay. I like the receivers if they're all there.
If they're all there, yeah. Hockenson, Addison, Justin Jefferson. That's a very pretty good wide receiver core, if you ask me.
Yeah.
With Aaron Jones, who could do both.
I like their running back. I think Chandler
it's an upgrade than what they had last season. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
better
an
than
upgrade,
Madison
but they don't have a backup. It's Anderson or Tyson Chandler or something like that. So he's okay, but my worry is I don't think they're going to be able to get pressure. They're ranked the 27th front 7 in the league. They lost a lot of guys up front. My worry is the secondary might get torched because they can't get any pressure into the cornerback. That's my worry with this team. I worry about quarterback. I'm a Sam Darnold fan and I'm rooting for him, but I wouldn't pick him up in fantasy. And I think he's going to turn the ball over a lot. I know Kevin O'Connell's system is for you not to turn the ball over, but let's be honest. I've seen Sam Darnold in New York a lot. Like he's not the same quarterback, but he winds up turning the ball over. He winds up forcing a lot of things. I like their offensive line. And I think Aaron Jones, you could draft him fantasy wise because he's going to run the ball. And I think if they start turning as well. Yes. And I think if they start getting into trouble, Kevin O'Connell's just going to be like, I'm just going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball and try to play defense and try to stop them. But, you know, like I said, the 4th hardest schedule in the league, that's in their not in their favor. And they're the only team with the declining roster. Every team in the NFC North is getting better. This team is getting worse. That is not a team I want to bet on long term. So I agree, kid. Like first of all, I don't understand the line movement. I wish I bet it at 6.5 at -168. It's not even worth touching, in my opinion. You don't want to put that much money on.
That's why I give the options to win 5 or 6 games at plus 600. Shit, you can even do a sprinkle at 4 games at plus 700.
Kid, I
gave him 5.
I gave him 4 wins.
I
thought I was nice. I split one with the Colts, and I still only got 4. I don't think they're gonna beat the Giants week 1, and that that should be a close game. Outside of that, they're going to lose 4, 5.
Mhm.
I think they lose 7 straight, 8 straight. I think they give them a chance against Tennessee. I actually gave them the game against at home against Houston. And I gave them one against Seattle, week 16. And I still only got 4. Like
Yeah, I gave them Arizona. I
yeah.
gave them one against Chicago. I gave them the last week of the season against Detroit. I feel like
Okay.
Detroit is gonna
Yeah, it's locked up.
It's locked up. They don't need to play.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
three. That's 3 right there. And then I gave them 2. They're gonna win a game somehow.
Of course. Yeah. It's the NFL.
So you could go Giants week 1. You could go wherever you want to go. I'm gonna say they get to 5. I'm gonna say they get to 5.
You're a little nicer because you wouldn't be surprised if they won 4 either.
That's why I say
yeah, exactly.
Consider plus 700 at 4.
All right. Obviously not to make them the playoffs then. Let's go to the player props because there are some guys we can talk about. I do want to start because, like I said, I like that secondary. I want to talk with Harrison Smith, all pro. He is getting up there in age. He's over 30 now, but his interception prop is at 2.5. Kind of high, I thought. Plus 170 towards the over, minus 220. Now, he's not your typical safety. He kind of roams the field a little bit. He plays the more of the free safety position, but he didn't have any picks last year in 2023. 2022, he had a great year. He had 5 interceptions. And then back in 2021, he only had 1 interception. I got to go the under, kid. Obviously, it's juiced at minus 220, but I don't see 3 picks from Harrison Smith.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to just stay away from it. I give him a shot. Realistically, it's just, will he get the opportunities like late in game? Are they going to, try to throw it deep? Or they're going to already have a lead and going to be kneeling the ball?
Yeah.
I think they're going to be kneeling the ball, Dill. So, if it was a better number, I would have took the under, but it's too juice. So I'm going to just stay away.
I want to stay on defense. Now, there's only odds for defensive rookie of the year. Dallas Turner, kid out of Alabama. They pick him at number 17. And a lot of people, you and I included, he fell in the draft. I actually can't believe he fell. I thought he was going to be a top 10 pick. Defensive rookie of the year, he is going to start. He's going to get a lot of playing time. This is a young front 7. Very inexperienced, very young. You think there's any value? He has the second best odds.
I think so. Definitely, just because he has a chance to just stick out. If say out there he goes out there in his rookie year gets 8 to 10 sacks, he's live still. So I think at plus 440, he's a second favorite for a reason, and I think he'll have the opportunities. Look at the quarterbacks in the division. Jared Goff, maybe he's not going to snap back and drop as much as Jordan Love and Caleb Williams, but they definitely gonna in that division. He's definitely gonna have opportunities to get those sack totals and those numbers still. So if he's up there 8 to 10, he's live to win. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
100%. All right, let's go to the offensive side of the ball. I want to start with the highest paid player in the league, or highest wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Now, he missed some games last season, and I think that's why he went under it. He only had 1,000 yards, 68 catches, 1,074 yards, only 5 touchdowns. His prop this year, considering if he stays healthy, 1,300.5, minus 112 both ways. His receiving touchdowns is at 7.5, 93 receptions. Now, if he could get back to that 2022 where he had 128 catches, he caught for 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Do you think he could get back to that?
Absolutely. I just don't think he'll be able to get those numbers with Sammy D. Can he get to, let's just say, can he get his rookie year, his 2020 season, though? I think we're going to see something similar to that. I think he gets, around 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns. So I'm going to go over his receiving total, and then I'm going to just stay away from his touchdown prop. Don't get me wrong. He has a chance to go over the 7.5 early, just because, like I said, the first couple of weeks of the season, I think they're going to struggle. They're going to be forced to throw the ball, especially late in games. And it's going to be no Hawkinson, no Addison. So, honestly, the number one red zone threat is going to be Justin Jefferson. So, I think he has a chance to go over his touchdown total, especially if he gets, let's just say, 5 or 6 in the first 8 weeks of the season, which, honestly, he does have a chance on doing. But the yard total, though, his rookie year, over 1,400. Sophomore year, 1,600. Junior year, 1,800. I don't
Yeah.
expect 1,800 now,
No,
but
no, no.
I expect something similar to the rookie and sophomore year, around 14 to 1,500 yards.
Couldn't agree more. I like his over yards, staying away from his receiving touchdowns. And I love the over receptions, 93.5. I think he's going to get anywhere from 100 to 115 because of the point you made. First few games, they're going to force feed Justin Jefferson, which they have to.
And like you said, you got him losing what, 5-6 straight games?
Yeah.
If they lose 5-6 straight games, that's gonna be a lot of pass attempts in the fourth quarter to JJ.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Sam Darnold and his interception prop, but I like that over as well. But I think JJ he's gonna get the catches. If he stays healthy, he could go over this number. I think I picked him up. Kid, I had fantasy the other day, and
what pick?
9th, and I got Justin Jefferson. And it was the only one. It was either him or AJ Brown, and I went with Justin Jefferson based on talent. And I said, you know what? It's exactly how we handicapped it. I said, they're gonna force feed him the ball. They have to.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, though. I had the 6th overall pick, and I said to myself, if I don't get B. John Robinson or Tyreek Hill, which I doubt was gonna get Tyreek, I'm drafting Justin Jefferson.
And you did?
Overall. No, I drafted B. John.
Okay.
Thank God he fell to me.
Where did he go, Justin Jefferson?
He went right after me. He went 7th.
He fell to 9 to me, and honestly, I was surprised, but I said, I cannot pick him.
Yeah.
Like, he's too much of a talent.
He's the best wide receiver in football, Dill.
That's why I said.
That's why I'm going to give him a shot, Dill. Give me the plus 900 to lead the league in receiving yards. So don't get me wrong. I think it is Tyreek Hill award or, bet to lose. But I think if Sammy D is there, if Justin Jefferson plays all 17, I don't expect the Vikings to win many games. I expect the Sammy D and this Vikings team to be slinging it, especially in the fourth quarter when they're down double digits. Still, I give Jefferson a shot to lead the league, though. At plus 900, wish it was a little better of a number, maybe like a plus 12 or 14, 1,500. But at plus 900, though, I think he's live.
That's exactly why I stayed away from it. I saw value in it, but I needed like at least 13 to 14 to 1. Then I would have sprinkled a little bit on it, but I didn't even get 10 to 1. So I kind of stayed away from it. I was looking at that as well. Let's go to Aaron Jones, though, coming over from Green Bay. Last year, he ran for 656 yards. Now, he's not always the touchdown guy.
He missed like five games last year.
Yeah. Granted, but even in 2022, he only had 2 touchdowns as well. Mm-hmm. Even in 2021, where he had a lot of carries, he only had 4 touchdowns as well. His touchdowns is at 5.5, minus 142 towards the under. And I think the market is right. I would go under for Aaron Jones touchdown. 725. It worries me because he hasn't gone over this number. And just last year, 2022, he had 1,100 yards. That was a really good year. He went over in 2021. He had 800 yards. So he's gone over
every year besides one now.
Every year.
Four. Real quick though, 4 out of the last 5 seasons, Aaron Jones has went over this mark though, and
except his rookie year.
Besides his rookie year,
yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna go over it though. Like I said, 4 out of the last 5 seasons, he went over this mark, and he would have went over this mark last season if he didn't miss 5 games. We saw how explosive he looked once he came back. He led him down the stretch. We saw how he did the Dallas Cowboys still, and I think Aaron Jones is he has a sour taste in his mouth. I know he wanted to resign. Well, I don't know. I personally don't know, but I'm pretty damn sure he wanted to resign with Green Bay Packers, and that's why he was like, y'all want to sign me? I'm gonna just go right next door, and I'm gonna have to see me 2 times a year. So real quick, give me Aaron Jones over 725.5 rushing, and then give me his over total against the Green Bay Packers, both games. Lock it in right now, people. He will torch the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know why I was just going to say it doesn't matter when or where he plays them. He just goes crazy because I think he's from Dallas.
He's from Dallas, and he wanted to be a Cowboy. He wanted Dallas to draft him. So every time he goes to Dallas, he torches them, either home or away. Doesn't matter. And real quick, though, why he didn't have high touchdown totals, I'm gonna give you the main reason though. AJ Dillon. You don't need Aaron Jones to punch it in at the goal line when you got that big boy AJ Dillon, 240 plus, who's gonna run it in. So when you have AJ Dillon in your backfield, there's no need for Aaron Jones to run in those touchdowns. But I do agree with you. I'm gonna be honest. I will stay away. I wouldn't lean the under just because I just think Aaron Jones is so much better. Not so much better. Just he's better than Ty Chandler. So I think he'll get majority of the touches. Don't get me wrong. I think Ty will still get some play, but I think Aaron Jones will definitely be the bell cow back for the Vikings.
I'm setting a notes and reminders on my phone. Any betting trend that you have, send my way or that you find. I just made a note. Anytime Aaron Jones plays the Cowboys, anytime touchdown,
Yeah,
always. So yeah, thank you for that. And you're right. I guess I would lean over. I guess I like the under the rushing touchdowns a little more than I do the yards.
Same.
I agree. I think he'll get there because now he doesn't have a two-man horse, which I do think Chandler will get in, but not as much as A.J. Dillon got in Green Bay. And they have a good offensive line. Not better than the Packers, but they do have a good offensive line, the Minnesota Vikings. So, yeah, I'll lean over with you, but I do like the rushing touchdowns under. Let's go to the man, Sammy D, baby. 3,475 half is his passing yards. Big number. I mean, obviously he's been a backup the last few years. He only had 297 yards, 2022 he started, he had 1,100 yards, still didn't get it. I don't think ever he's gotten 3,000 yards.
Yes,
Even in
2019 with the Jets.
With the Jets. 3,000 yards, but he's never gotten over this number.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take it. Honestly, I don't think he's ever gone over his touchdown prop as well. 2019 is his best year. It was the most. Yeah, it was the year he got the most burn in. I think I don't want to be harsh because, like I said, I like. Yeah, and if he ever wants to come on, I'd love to have him on. My thing is
legend.
It's now or never for Sam Darnold, right? Who would have thought in 2024 season Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback? Not me.
With the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah. And granted, you're without your 2 and number 3 for the first few games. They're going to demand a lot out of you. Kevin O'Connell's offense is no joke. You are going to be throwing the ball a lot. You cannot turn the ball over. And that has been his Achilles heel in his season. It's at 12.5. I got to go over. I mean, even in his best season, he had 19 turnovers. 13, he had 13. So even in then, he's going to force the ball. The volume, he's probably going to throw the ball 450 times.
I say more.
Yeah, maybe even more. So I think he goes over his interceptions at 12.5. It's at plus 102. I like that, but I'm going to stay away from his yards because I don't think he has the weapons that he needs. Yeah, Justin Jefferson's going to get his, but outside of that, how long is hypothetically, would it surprise you that Roger Goodell says, you know what, Jordan Addison, this is not your first, it's your second time, 5 games, 6 games. It wouldn't surprise me if they give him 4 games. TJ Hawkinson's missing 4 games. If he goes the first month with that brutal schedule, the Giants, 49ers, Texans, Green Bay, and the Jets.
He might light the Jets up.
He's not doing that. If he does in a revenge spot. Got it.
You got rid of me?
But, if you're without your number 2 and number 3, it's going to be extremely hard to get over that E. So I'm going to
guess when they're coming back against the Jets.
Wow. Not if they're spending.
Panicking. Vikings plus the points.
Oh my God. So, but I do have to go under the yards, go under the touchdowns, but I will go over the interceptions. No disrespect, Sammy. I am actually rooting for you, and I hope he makes me eat my words. I truly do. But I don't think he will.
Well, Sammy D, I'm talking to you, buddy. Somebody got to do it for the podcast. I got faith in the boy.
You don't have faith.
Sammy D. Give me the over. He threw for 3,000 yards with Adam Gates calling the damn plays. Dill, anybody listening, where's Adam Gates now? I don't even think he could get a high school job. Dill.
He shouldn't.
And Sammy D threw for 3 bands on him. Adam Gates calling the play. Do you know the Jets offense in 2019?
It was a halfback dive every first down and 10 with Le'Veon Bell.
You know this. The man threw for 3 bands in 2019 with Le'Veon Bell,
Legend.
Adam Gates. The dude's throwing for 3,500, though, with the best wide receiver in football, and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson in there for a minimum of 10 to 12 games.
Wow.
Aaron Jones is going to catch for at least 3, 4, 500. Justice Jefferson, I told you he's getting 15. He only got 2 bands to go now. Dill, I have faith in CMD. Give me the over 3,475.5. If you want, I'll even bet you heads up. Me and you. No doubt about it. I will stay away from his touchdown prop. Don't get me wrong. I do lean the over, Dill. Like I said, the man career high passing touchdowns is 19. Once again. With the Jets and Adam Gates.
I think you're putting too much emphasis on Adam Gates.
No,
he was irrelevant.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly. Think about it, Dill. If he had Kevin O'Connell calling plays in 2019, he probably threw 4,000. 28 passing touchdowns. He did that with Adam Gates in 2019, Dill. I think he could at least get 3,522 passing touchdowns, Dill. So I'm going to go with the over passing for sure. I'm gonna lean the over 20.5 passing touchdowns. And their interceptions, Dill, guess what? We're going to have a couple tip drills down the stretch. We're going to try to tie the game late, and guess what? 1 or 2 is going to get picked. I'm going to lean the over as well. So, Sammy D, I do got some faith in you. You're going to have the best offense you had in your whole career. Think about it. You went from the Jets to Carolina, Dill.
Two awful situations.
Awful situations. So, I think he's going to have.
But then he went to Kyle Shanahan.
But he didn't get no burn.
No, but still, you learn under him, you will get better.
And now he's getting the best situations he's ever been in his career.
That's fair.
I think he might have the best career, his best season of his career.
Don't make me spit my water, please.
Yo, if he throws to 30, if he goes over, let's just say he throws to 3,200 yards.
Over his prop.
No. 3,200 yards and 20 touchdowns. Those are both career highs, career year.
That's fair. That's fair.
I know.
Honestly, I want, like I said, I'm a fan of Sam Darnold. He can go under
both his props and have a career year. Come on, Sammy D.
I want him to prove me wrong.
He will.
But history has shown me that he won't. We will see.
Well, history had Adam Gates and Carolina Panthers involved, still.
That's fair. Who was it? Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
Shout out Matt Rule, Baylor legend.
He's doing his thing. What, Nebraska?
Nebraska, right? Cornhuskers now.
He's doing his thing in Nebraska. Shout out Matt Rule. But as a coach in the NFL,
we see them. They take their steps sometimes, and it's just not it. I get it.
Bad hire. Think about it. The last 2 Carolina head coaches are still under contract, and neither of them got a job.
Frank Wright, he got the boot.
He got the bag. Fuck it.
Yeah, he did get. He did get the bag. Oh my, David Temper. Oh, that owner. He's the owner that throws stuff at the.
David Temper, man, reach out to me, man. I need a job.
I could coach
significantly less.
I think I've watched
million. Get me in the front office. I'm gonna make some moves, man.
I'd be a scout.
I'm not being a scout. I'm getting talent.
Oh my God. All right, let's go to a team we can actually bet on. And I want the record to show that I am for Sam Darnold. I'm rooting for him to prove me wrong. So
you just took his unders, dude.
I know, because I like money more. But I'm not betting heart. No, I know. I actually like Sam Darnold. I really do. Cali kid. Let's go to the Bears. Last season, 7-10. Big improvement from 2022. They went 3-14. This year, they keep Matt Eberflus. Justin said he is the guy, and I agree with one of his points, man. He is a really good DC. I think the jury is still up on head coach, but I think DC, he got the boys playing. We saw it in the second half of the season. I like Ryan Poles. I like the GM. I see. Hand up, I think I saw the vision before everyone else, but that's neither here or there. I do like they bring in Shane Waldron, new OC out of Seattle. They bring in Keenan Allen, upgrade. Hopefully he stays healthy. They bring in DeAndre Swift as well. Win total is at 8.5. Overs at -160, another juicy one, +130 towards the under. To win the North, +340. I'm not going to touch the Super Bowl or the NFC unless you think different. But any chance on the division at +340? And what about the win total at 8.5? They are favored in 10 games.
To realistically, Dill, do they have a shot for the division? You gotta say yeah, because it's always injuries possible, but I honestly doubt it. To me, there should be more. It should be at least +500, +600 to win the division, in my opinion. And then the over 8.5 wins, Dill. You heard the interview, people. I like the Bears. I think they're heading to the right direction. But to win 9 games this season, I'm sorry, Dill. I have to stay away. I have to stay away. I don't see 9. I don't see 9. Don't get me wrong. I like the Bears. I like the direction they're going, Dill. But to win 9 games, I think the schedule is fair. It's not like, OD hard or nothing like that. But I just don't see. Can they get to 9? Yes. I'm just not going to bet it. I counted 9 once. I counted 8 a couple times. I'm going to just stay away, Dill. I don't love it.
Really? Because I counted a lot, actually. And
you counted 10?
I counted 11 too one time.
The Bears are going to win 11 games.
I mean, they have the third easiest schedule in the league. Outside of the Falcons and the Chargers, they have the easiest schedule. In the second half of their schedule, they play Washington, Arizona, New England, Vikings, and the Green Bay Packers in a row. I mean, there's a chance they go 4-0, 5-0. I think they could beat. I think they split the Packers as well. I think the toughest games they have are the 2 road games, week 2 in Houston and week 14 in, I don't know if it's Levi Stadium anymore, but San Francisco. Yeah. I think those are the 2 toughest games. Obviously, they play in Detroit. They play in Lambeau. They have to. But they're at a conference. They play Seattle at home. They play Tennessee at home. They play the Rams at home. They play Jacksonville at home. They're not really getting anywhere on the road. Yeah, they got to go to Lucas Oil Stadium and play the Colts, but I don't think that's a tough game for them. I really don't. Yeah, I love everything about them. They're getting realignments. They're getting reinforcements for their front 7. Their secondary, I think they have a top 5 secondary. Jury's still up on Matt Eberflus. I will say that, but I think they have a top 5 receiving core. I think they have a top 15 running back room. I like their offensive line. It's all going to come down to Caleb Williams. I
just, to me, it's tough. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, they won 7 games last season.
They won 7 games last season, but,
with Justin Fields, who can't get a starting job.
Yeah, I'm not going to, just hand them Tennessee. Don't get me wrong. I do think they will win the game, but Tennessee's live. Week 2, dub. Week 3, I think the Colts win that game. Rams could possibly go into Chicago and upset them. Don't get me wrong. Panthers, they're going to win that game. Jacksonville, I do think they'll win against Jacksonville, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville walks out of Chicago with a win, Dill. Commanders, I think they win against Commanders, but hey, at Washington, anything's possible. Anything's possible, Dill. At Arizona, you're high on Kyler. I think they walk out with a victory. I don't think it's a guarantee. They'll beat the Patriots. Small chance they split with the Packers. Small chance. I do give them a small chance to split with the Packers. I wouldn't get shocked if the Packers do win both, but I give them a shot to win the home game. Against Detroit, against the 49ers, honestly, I think they could possibly lose 3 or 4 out of the last 5. Green Bay the last week of the season. If Green Bay don't need it, but if they do, I think they lose at Green Bay. Seattle, we'll see. What's the scenario? Lions at Detroit. Detroit at Chicago, December 22nd. I think Detroit's winning that game, though. They're going to go up there, try to go for the division, possibly get that number 1 seed. I just don't see 9. Don't get me wrong. I love that y'all high on them. I like them too, Dill. I just don't see 9 wins. That's all.
Only games they are underdogs in is week 2. Obviously, they're 3-point underdogs to the Texans. Week 13 They are 4-point dogs to the Lions. Week 14, they're 5-point dogs to the 49ers. Week 16, they are 1-point dogs at home to the Lions again. And then week 18, they're 2-point underdogs. Every other game they should win. They should. Big word, should.
But are you confident you could just lock in a win against the Colts, a win against the Rams, a win against the Jaguars, a win?
The only games I'm
talking about just lock in.
Yeah. The only games I can't lock in that I think are going to be good games: week 4, Rams; week 6, Jacksonville.
I'm going to say week 3, Colts. They're at Indianapolis. Indianapolis.
They're 2.5-point favorites right now.
I'm not worried about.
No, but that's what I'm telling you. The market is telling you that they're better. They have a better roster than them. They really do, and I think they have a better.
I just have a. If the crowd is jumping in there, Caleb struggles a little bit. Jonathan Taylor is rushing the ball really well. That defense is playing good. Anthony Richardson doing his thing. All I'm saying is I think the Colts are live. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm just not guaranteeing a win.
I don't. I think from week 13 on,
that's a guaranteed win for you against the Colts.
Yeah, I do. I think they start 2-1. They could be 2-2 because I do think week 5 or week 4 is tough.
I think they could start 2-2 too. They could possibly start 1-3. They could start 3-1. I just doubt it. I just doubt they start.
That's a bet. I'll go head up with you. Week 3 against the Colts. Because I think they cover. Yeah. We'll see, because right now they're 2-point favorites, so we'll see. But regardless, I just think everything that I said with Justin. Obviously upgrading, and I'm high on Justin Fields. I just think upgrading to get Caleb Williams, and go back to that Colts game. I think Caleb Williams didn't even step on the field, and we already see that he's better than Anthony Richardson. So I think they have the advantage there as well. And also Keenan Allen. I think he meshes perfectly with DJ Moore with the zone and the man-on-man coverage. So I like DeAndre Swift that they brought in. The only thing I think they need to clean up is they gave up 50 sacks last season. Oh, that was a lot of socks.
What's the rookie name?
Darnell, right? No, that was a few years ago.
The quarterback,
Justin Fields.
When Justin was hurt.
Oh, Bagent, Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, Tyson Bagent. Him and Justin were honestly both running into a lot of sacks as well.
Yeah, I think Caleb Williams will make fewer mistakes.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Caleb, don't get me wrong, he will scramble, make some magic outside the pocket. He will lead into some tackles, but not 50 plus,
Yeah. And I guess the worry or the pushback that I agree with, I like their front seven, and I see the direction that they're going with. And Montez Sweat obviously got an upgrade. But, they do face a lot of teams in this schedule that's really good scoring the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, dude, I'm just not going to.
My worry isn't the secondary. My worry is them getting pressure on the quarterback. I don't know if they will. That is my worry, but I do think I counted 9 wins a few times, and I also counted 10 a few times. But I do think, it's minus 160 for a reason. I think the market is right. At 8.5. They won 7 games with Justin Fields, who can't start now. Caleb Williams is a major upgrade. They're going to win 9 games. Now, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. It's at plus 104. I'm going to take a shot on them because I do think they could beat out some teams late in the season. We talk about with the Lions, with the Seahawks. That could be for playoff implication right there. I think they beat Minnesota. I think they split one with Green Bay, maybe home week 11. I think they're going to be able to sneak into the playoffs some way. So I'm going to take a shot at plus money, and it's not a crazy money. Plus 104. They're right. It's almost a pick 'em right now. So I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take the Bears to go over their win total and for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I do give them a shot to make the playoffs. Like I said, I think it's going to be between the Rams, Seattle, the Saints, maybe the Bucks. Chicago. Those are the teams that's going to be fighting for the 7th seed. I think those are the teams that are going to be around 8 wins, 7 wins, 9 wins. So I do give them a shot to make the playoffs to sneak into the 7th seed. But I'd rather take a shot with either the Saints, the Rams, or Seattle. You're muted.
Oh, my fault. It's understandable and it's fair. Let's go to some props. Let's go to Montez Sweat. Like I said, very good. I think he helped that defense get pressure
Major
on.
upgrade.
Yeah, that second half, you could tell that defense was a whole new defense in that second half. They were getting after it. Last season, he had 12 and a half sacks. This year, 9.25. Do you think he could go over this?
Yeah, though, and one of the main reasons why I really love this prop, though, is something he said the other day. I'm not sure if he caught it, but he said that in Washington, it was just like a losing culture, and he was like people were like not upset or just like cool with losing. In Chicago, nobody's gonna be cool with losing. He's gonna go out there and play to win, Dill. And guess what? He's gonna be motivated. So I think 9.5, 925 is just a short number. We saw him just hit another gear, slash explode when after the trade deadline when he landed in Chicago.
He looked like a new man.
Exactly, Dill. He went from a losing culture to something that's building, and that excites him. So I think this number is too short. I think Montez Swift is a short pick for 10 plus sacks this season.
I agree. I think he's going to have a hell of a season, Montez Sweat. And, he went over this number last season, didn't go over it ever. And that was why. I think that's also, it's a losing culture. And I think that rubs off on you too. When you got other people who don't care, that kind of rubs off on you unintentionally, I think sometimes. So, yeah, not a good that's loser mentality, what you were explaining. So let's go to Jalen Johnson. He got the big year, big contract as well. Last season, we'll talk about his interception prop. It's at 1.5. The over is at -136. I love the over, kid. He had 4 interceptions last year. 2022, he didn't really have any. He didn't get that much playing time. But if you could go back to that 2022 year, I think he's going to get it. I love the secondary. Like I said, I think it's a top 5 secondary in the league. I'm going to take over 1.5 interception for Jalen Johnson. It's at -136.
Yeah, though I like this one just because look at the division. You got Jared Goff. All respect to Jared Goff, but we know he's prone, turn the ball over every now and then. Jordan Love, he's going to sling it. He's going to possibly turn the ball over a couple times as well. And then we just spoke about it with Sammy D. They're going to be down in games. He's going to have to force a couple balls. So I think Jalen Johnson is going to at least get the opportunity for a good 5 to 6 of them. He's going to come down with 2 or 3.
All right, let's go to the offense. Caleb Williams, Offensive Rookie of the Year at +120. Would you rather take him at the short number or the field? As much as I'm high on the Bears, I kind of would pick the field. I have, I told you, Malik Napier is 14-1 Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I picked Napier's as well. I think Marvin Harrison is definitely worth a sprinkle as well, which we'll get to him in a couple episodes, though. But I'm going to go Offensive Rookie of the Year at +140 deal with Caleb. I'm going to go him to have the most rookie passing yards at -135. If you want to go outside of the Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think at -135 to have the most rookie passing yards, I think that's a great bet. Don't get me wrong, at -135, it ain't the greatest number, people. But look, don't get me wrong, Jaden Daniels is a stud. Drake May's good. Both Knicks looking like he could become something good. But let's just be honest, people. None of those guys, burn injury, are not going to pass for more yards than Caleb Williams. So if you don't love those other bets, let's just say his over/under at 3,500. I still think he could go win this prop most passing rookie yards. Even he could go under 3,500.
That's a good point.
He could still lead all rookies in passing yards. So look out for that, people. You don't have to just bet his over total, though. So that's my favorite bet for Caleb Williams to have the most rookie passing yards at -135. But, we're going to take the over 3,500 as well, and then +140 Offensive Rookie of the Year. But my favorite bet is most rookie passing yards -135.
And I think it's favored for a reason. I think that's a good way to play it as well. Give the listeners some options. I'm not going to take him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I get why it's at +120. I mean, look what they Ryan Poles surrounded. If this is the ideal situation you want to come into as a rookie, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze,
Cole Kmet.
Shout out Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet is getting a lot of love on the pod today. I love Cole Kmet as well. DeAndre Swift. I mean, there is no excuse for Caleb Williams. None. He will struggle sometime from here and there, but he has all the weapons he needs to succeed. I think that's a great way to play it. I love his receiving yard, his passing yards, 3,500. I think he could have 3,700. I almost think he could go for 4,000 just because based on what I think Odunze could get. Look at their props, 675.5. Keenan Allen is at 750.5. And DJ Moore, we talked with Justin, it's at 975.5. This man doesn't go under 1,000 yards. He's like another Mike Evans. So let's just say they all don't get to 1,000.
That's around roughly 2,600.
Cole Kmet's going to get another 500-600. He's going to get close. And we talk about the passing game with DeAndre Swift, with Justin Mark. He's going to get 400 or 500. It's going to get very close. And in garbage time, especially late in the season, they have a brutal schedule later in the half.
And must-win games.
They're going to throw the ball. I got to take the over, kid. I'll take the over the interceptions. He's going to force some balls. That's what rookies do. Yeah, that's what rookies do. And honestly, I like that. I want them to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also going to take over his touchdowns as well. So I think he has a big year. I'm not going to take him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I like how you played it because I do think he'll have the most passing yards out of the rookie quarterback group. Let's start with DJ Moore because we did talk to Justin about him. I think he has 1,000 yards. I think getting Keenan Allen, drafting Rome Odunze, they are going to take so much pressure off of DJ. They can't cover everyone. That's the problem. And let's be honest, they're not versing a lot of great secondaries. They do, but it's later in the season. Early on, I think they could have a lot of success. So I got to go over everything. 975.5 receiving yards. I think 5.5 touchdowns is wildly disrespectful. It's at -142. And I think 71 catches. Regardless, I understand there's a lot of mouths to feed, but DJ Moore is going to get his. He's a great fantasy guy. I'm going to take his over receptions as well, 71.5.
Yeah, I have DJ Moore on my fantasy team. Hopefully, I get to pick him up in more teams. Still, give me over 975.5 on -112 and 5.5 touchdowns. People, don't get me wrong. This number's a little too short. I understand Keenan Allen's there, Cole Kmet, Swift, the rookie Odunze. But DJ Moore is a top 10 wide receiver in this league, people. To have 5.5 touchdowns for the number one wide receiver, I think it's too low. So give me the over on both for DJ Moore. And that's it. Every reception, I lean it over it as well. I just don't love it just because I do think it's a lot of mouths for feeds. Let's just say Keenan Allen, he is a little injury prone. Let's just say he misses 6 weeks. Then I'll really love the over reception. But let's just say Keenan Allen and everybody else stays healthy. I think it'll be not tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go over the number if everybody stays healthy.
No, that's fair. Now let's go to Keenan Allen because, like I said, last year he was actually able to stay healthy. He went over this number in 2023, which the number 750 receiving yards, -112 both ways. He caught for 1,200 yards last season. He had 108 catches. Now Justin made a good point because he's always a reception king. Even in 2022, where he missed a lot of time, only caught for 752 yards, still went over this number. He had 66 catches as well, so he's always going to get those catches. I don't think that's the problem. I think going over the number is the problem. That's why I'm going to stay away. I stayed away from him in fantasy as well. His over 4.5 touchdowns, I mean, I didn't touch it. He went over in 2021. He didn't go over in 2022. 2023 was, I think, one of his best years. He had 7, yeah. So I kind of would stay away from it. It's -122 towards the under, -106 towards the over. I love his over receptions, though. 69.5, I just think is way too low because I know he's not that kind of guy that beats you down deep, but he catches a lot of balls. So I would go over his receptions. I think that's the best way to play Keenan Allen, over 69.5 receptions.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from his total yards, though. If anything, you know what? I'm going to lean his over 4.5 touchdowns, still. I think he could possibly be that red zone target for them, him and Cole Kmet. He's the big guy. He's 6'4". He's a big body. He's going to get the jump ball, though. Like you said, I don't expect him to get those down the field 40, 50-yard plus, but I expect him to get those, first down receptions and those goal line targets, still. 4.5 touchdowns for a pass-heavy offense, I think it will be I think it's a good number to bet. Honestly, I don't expect a shitload. Let's say 8 plus, but to get to 5 for Keenan Allen, I think he can even do that if he misses a couple games. So give me the over 4.5 touchdowns. I'm gonna stay away from his receptions and his total yards.
Let's go to the rookie, Romeo Dunze, kid out of Washington, top 10 pick. Expect big things from him. I want to get your opinion before I give mine. His receptions yards is at 675 and a half. It seems high, I think, on the surface, but if you really watched him at Washington, what he was able to do with Michael Penix Jr., now getting Caleb Williams, who I like Michael Penix, but Caleb Williams is better than him. He's been the best player. He was the number 1 overall pick for 2 years straight. I think that's a lot of pressure also for Caleb Williams. But anyway, I think he gets an upgrade at quarterback. I don't think the number is too low. What kind of rookie season are you expecting out of Romeo Dunze?
I expect a good season from him, Dale. I'm going to lean the over 675.5. I think he has a shot to get at least 750, 800. I think he'll get what Keenan Allen is projected to get, which is around 750, Dale. I think those numbers should be flopped. I think Keenan Allen takes a little step back. He's a little, I want to say past his prime, but Keenan Allen is a vet. He's been there and done that. He don't need to be the true number 1 for this team. They need him when they need it the most, and it's come late in the season when they're trying to make that playoff push still. So I think in the slot, I think Roan could honestly be lethal. Could be lethal, especially when it's a breakdown play and he could just, wander off and Caleb is just just scrambling in the backfield and he finds them and he goes for 40 plus. So I think he'll have a few of those. So give me the over 675.5 at minus 112. Touchdowns, I'm not going to touch, but hey, kid, he's a top 10 pick for a reason.
Yeah, 100%. I think he gets anywhere from, I don't know, 55 receptions. That's like right at the number. I think 670 or 675.5. I think that's too low. I think he gets around 750. Touchdowns is where it gets interesting. It's at 4.5, minus 102 towards the over, minus 124 towards the under. I guess this is the guy I kind of would stay away from in the touchdown because there's a lot of guys to feed. We talked about with Justin. Red zone, they kind of like to throw the ball to the tight end as well. They're going to run the ball with DeAndre Swift. That's why you bring him in. I kind of would stay away from the touchdowns, but I do like his receptions over 54.5. And I think 675 is a little too low as well. He's a great route runner and he's really good against zone coverage. So whoever plays zone against Romeo Dunze in the slot is going to have a tough time. It's pick your poison. You're gonna double Keenan Allen, the rookie, or you're gonna leave DJ Moore alone on the side. You know what I mean? Who are you gonna have help over the top? One of them. It's either gonna be Keenan Allen or DJ Moore, and then you're gonna leave Romeo Dunze, and he'll torch you up the middle. That's my worry. I feel like if they get into some shootouts, this team could put up a lot of numbers. I love your pick on Caleb Williams to have the most rookie passing yards, and it's favored at minus 130 for a reason. Let's get to DeAndre Swift, running back. They get him from the Eagles. Love the move. The Eagles, excuse me. He played for the Lions a couple seasons earlier. His rushing PARP is at 675.5. Now, with Justin, we talked about his passing ability and what he could bring to the passing attack, but he still rushed for over 1,000 yards. Now, granted, it's a good offensive line here in Chicago, but it's not like it was in Philadelphia. I don't think he'll get 1,000, but I do like the over.
Yeah, Dale, like you said, he had that huge season last year in Philadelphia. He had a couple great seasons in Detroit. 675, though. I think he definitely goes over this mark. Don't get me wrong, we do expect, the Chicago to be more of a pass first offense. They're gonna sling it. Look at the wide receiver core they got, plus Cole Kmet. But 675.5 for DeAndre Swift, I feel like it's too low. Maybe if it was like 850, I'd be like, okay, maybe that's a little high. But for just to get, let's just say 700 plus, I think Swift gets that.
Yeah, I agree. What about the touchdowns? 5.5. The over's at plus 128. The under's at minus 164. It's a total stay away from me.
I give him a shot. I just gotta see how much does Khalil Herbert, is he gonna be the third round back? Is he gonna be the goal line back? So that's something I will see in season, the first couple of weeks of the season. But I'll lean the over just because I think DeAndre Swift will be able to punch it in. It just all depends what are the rotation is.
Yeah. All right, kid. Well, we finished a little longer, but yeah, we're good with the Minnesota Vikings. We're good with the AFC North. One division to go, kid. The NFC West. We will take care of that on Friday and finish up on Monday. And then here comes on Thursday, kid. Opening night, week 1. We're here for week 1 for college. Like I said, 25 games on the board. Week Week 0 was entertaining. Like I said, all 4 underdogs covered: Georgia Tech, Montana State, FBS school. They go in first year in Division 1, and they go on the road and beat New Mexico. That's a big win for them. Nevada winds up covering and Delaware State covering. Any plays for you? I'll lead it off for my first play. I'm actually going to take Minnesota here. They're the underdog now, but they opened up the favorite, and that's where I got them. The line is actually coming in the other way. We're rowing the boats here in Minnesota, kid. I'm going to take them. I got them at plus 2.5. Money's actually coming in on the other way, so the line's flipping back and forth. Plus 108 on the money line. I do think North Carolina is going to struggle a little bit, but I'm going to take Minnesota here on Thursday on the money line plus 108 as my first play. Any opinion there or any other game you like?
You have any other plays though? Or you just have that one?
No, I got a couple more. I got the next game. I'm going to take Jackson State against Coastal Carolina. I laid the 2.5 at home. I just think it's a tough environment to go in first year with Coastal Carolina. I take Jackson State minus the 2.5. And then my last game that I have is I'm going to take Colorado here against North Dakota State. I got it a little earlier in the week. Colorado was laying 9. Money's coming in on prime time. 9.5 is it now. But I'll tell you this, they should win this game, but North Dakota is a very, very tough team. I laid it because I'm biased to Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, but it wouldn't shock me if North Dakota winded up going into Boulder and covering. So those are my 3 plays: Jacksonville State minus 2.5, Minnesota money line, and Colorado laying the 9.
I love it, though. I love it. To be honest, I'm gonna have a few leans still, but all my games is for like this weekend, so I'm gonna just save it for Thursday's show. But I'll definitely have some plays this Thursday for this weekend, though.
All right, then let's go to the Diamond. Like I said, 15 games on the Diamond. You start us off in the Diamond. I got a few plays that I like. It's a pretty interesting card.
Yeah, Dale. Let's start it off. My first game of the day will be 7:45. Yeah, 7:45 start. Heading to St. Louis. Padres taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Over under sitting at 8.5. Padres slight favorites minus 118 on the money line. You got Justin Musgrove taking on Andre Panella. Panelli. Still, I'm gonna go with the red hot Padres. Still, I think. Don't get me wrong, I do love Musgrove on the road, but I do think he's a little slightly better of a pitcher. I'm gonna take the Padres on the money line. I caught it earlier at minus 130. I don't know if I'm a double down ticket once again at minus 118, but I'm gonna roll with the Padres still, and I'll give them a shot to make some noise come next month still.
Yeah, I like that play as well. I think it's a short number with the Padres, and you really don't want to get in front of them right now. They hit well against righties, 275 on the year, and I feel like every time we talk about the Cardinals, I do want to fade them, but yeah, it's just not one of the trends I really want to get on. Joe Musgrove, he's looked good since coming back. He's had 3 solid starts. Padres 2-1. He's starting to go a little deeper into the game, and I think that's a good sign for the Padres. So I agree. I do like the Padres tomorrow as well. We'll go to Fenway. Your Red Sox taking on the Blue Jays. Brian Bello with Chris Bassett. Give me the over 9. I got to admit, the Blue Jays have been a very fun team to bet on since the All-Star break. Red Sox, not so much with their pitching, but you just never know what's going to happen. I think I'll say this, E. If you like the Red Sox, and I do think they deserve to be the favorite, you got to back them in the first 5 innings because that Red Sox bullpen is awful. I like the over. That's why I kind of like the over at 9. I'm surprised it opened at 9. I would imagine it closes around 9.5 or even 10. The over is hit in 4 of the last 5 games between these two clubs. The over has been profitable lately for the Blue Jays as well. And I'm not the biggest Chris Bassett fan either. 3+ runs in 8 of his last 9 games. Red Sox smash right-handed pitching. And Brian Bello, opposing batters are hitting at home 290 off of him. So I think we're going to see a lot of runs here tomorrow. So, yeah, give me the over in the Blue Jays and Red Sox game. That's going to be my second play.
I love it, though. I love it. Hopefully, we're able to win that game as well. And then my last play of the game will be your New York Mets taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Luis Severino's on the round against our boy Brandon Fratt. Don't get me wrong, I do like Severino. I think he is a little better pitcher than Brandon, but I'm gonna go with Arizona though. They've just been red hot past month. You could say Arizona, they're live. The Mets, don't get me wrong, they are better on the road, but I don't think y'all be able to slow down this team right now. You gotta give credit to Arizona to how bad they look the start of the season. Like, we expected much more. Though they started so slow. Now they're back at that winning ways that we saw late last season. I think it might be a scary sight. They'll give me the Diamondbacks at home -135 on the money line.
Yeah, that's going to be my last play as well. I took the D-backs here straight up. Surprised the number is as short as it is. Even as a diehard Met fan, I got to take the Snakes here. I think both teams are playing well. I'll say that. I got to give a little compliment for my Mets. But the Mets bullpen, they're in shambles. You saw it over the weekend. Even in a game, Jose Quintana actually gave you a solid outing. They still couldn't close it out. Jackson Morrell, he has my vote for NL Rookie of the Year. I know a lot of people like Paul Skeens, but Jackson Morrell, what he's been able to do, he's a top 5 center fielder already. And I just don't trust Severino on the road. He had a nice start against the Padres, but he's too Jekyll and Hyde. He's too kind of up and down. Snakes, they've won. Brandon Fart's not the best pitcher, but the Snakes have won 9 of his last 10 starts. No matter even if he gives up runs, they usually give him the run support. They always find ways to win. I just think it pains me to say, I just think the D-backs are the better team. So I got to take them as well at home. Surprised the number is that short, but that's all I got here on the Diamond Kid. Anything else for you?
Nah, dude, that's about it. I didn't want to force too much. I've been actually doing all right. Been doing all right on the Diamond. So not trying to go too crazy on it.
All right. And then WNBA, before we get up out of here, 5 games on the slate. Caitlin Clark, she's home. Their favorite, their underdogs against Connecticut Sun. Connecticut, one of 3 teams, Liberty, Connecticut Sun, and Minnesota. Almost said Timberwolves. Minnesota Lynx, 3 teams to clinch a playoff spot. Thoughts here? Can Caitlin Clark get the upset? You also got Chicago Sky, Angel Reese. She's fighting. They're home against the Washington Mystics. Some pretty good games out here on Wednesday.
Yeah, Dale. I'm gonna stay away from the Fever game. Don't get me wrong. UConn is just one of the best teams in the W. Indiana's, they've been playing much better since, you could say since the Olympic break, even right before the Olympic break. But I'm gonna just stay away. I do lean Connecticut -3.5. But my 2 plays, I'm definitely taking tomorrow. I'm gonna take Chicago Sky at home +100. I think it's you can say it's a must-win game. They lost 3 straight games. I think they bounced back at home against the Washington. And then my last play will be Minnesota. They'll red hot Minnesota. They just beat the Aces the other night, and Phoenix Mercury. They've been struggling. I don't know what it is. I honestly thought they were going to bounce back from the Olympic break, but they're still a little sluggish. I'm gonna take the Minnesota on the road -3.5, and then I also lean New York Liberty 12.5 on the road against the LA Sparks. LA Sparks they're just a disaster, and the Liberty, I think they're getting ready for that playoff run.
Let's fucking go, kid. Thank you so much. Thank you to Justin Mark as well for jumping on. That's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. Like I said, remember, we are going 3 times a week, back to 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we will see you guys on Friday. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. If you missed an episode, no worries. You guys can find all of our episodes on Apple Music, Spotify, Stitcher. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days, and we will see you guys on Friday.